Hello everybody, it's DTK Productions and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I put together a team filled with the last 15 winners of the Defensive Player of the Year award. Looking at the roster, we got Giannis, we got Kevin Garnett, Marc Gasol, Kawhi Leonard, Dwight Howard, Alonzo Mourning, Ron Artest, Ben Wallace, Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Marcus Camby, Joakim Noah, Tyson Chandler, Dikembe Mutombo, and Marcus Smart. One thing I do need to mention about this team though is it only has one guard. Everybody else on this team is 6'7" or taller and is a forward and center. We were actually only 1 year away from being able to get Gary Payton on this team, but he was actually the 16th most recent player to win Defensive Player of the Year. And a few people I had to download, like Ron Artest and Marc Gasol, so if their overalls aren't great, don't be mad at me, be mad at the people who created the player. If we look at the lineup, this is what they have for us right now. Marcus Smart, being the only guard, is going to have to run point, and he's going to have to run quite a bit of it. Then we got Ron Artest at shooting guard, Kawhi Leonard at small forward, Giannis at power forward, and Dwight Howard at center. And I set it to a 13-man lineup like I did in the last one, but we've got Kevin Garnett, Marc Gasol, Alonzo Mourning, Ben Wallace, Rudy Gobert, Marcus Camby, Draymond Green, and Joakim Noah getting minutes, while Tyson Chandler and Dikembe Mutombo will be riding the pine. And I heard what you guys had to say about the MVP one. You guys didn't like the fact that I didn't use the current MVP version, so I went and used every single version of these players, and I also didn't remove them from their team, so there's two Giannis's in the league right now, so we might get to see like them go up against each other. Just like the last one, we're going to do a 2-year sim, see what they can do in 2 years, see if they can win 2 titles and match the MVPs. My guess is yes, but it's going to solely be on defense because they have no guard play whatsoever. All right, now we're going to start the sim, and I'll see you guys when we make it to the All-Star break. And here we are at the All-Star break. We have 2 All-Stars, Kevin Garnett and Giannis. And if we look at the award races, MVP, most likely going to Luka, as it always does. A 40-point triple-double nearly. That's a pretty good one for him. We have someone in contention of winning 6th Man of the Year, and that's Kevin Garnett. I'm not sure if he's going to win it because this always changes. We still got half a season to go. And for Defensive Player of the Year, none of our players are in contention, probably because they're not really playing enough. Like, one specific player is not playing enough. But let's look at how our team itself as a whole is doing. So here's a look at the standings. 60 games in, our team is 53-7. We're beating teams on average by 22.5 points, and we've only allowed 102 per game, 9 points less than the next team. And this defensive-led team is second in points scored per game in this NBA. But now we're going to go through the All-Star break. We're going to sim straight to the end of the season, and I'll see you guys when we get there. And we've made it to end of season awards. Luka Doncic wins MVP, averaging 37, 11, and 11. Of course he does. And Jabari Smith Jr. wins Rookie of the Year, averaging really good numbers. 6th Man of the Year does go to Ben Simmons. And Rudy Gobert, not our Rudy Gobert, wins Defensive Player of the Year. And now looking at All-NBA first team, Luka, James Harden, LeBron, Giannis, and Jokic, not our Giannis. All-NBA second team, Ja Morant, Trae Young, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Joel Embiid. And third team, Steph Curry, LaMelo Ball, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, and Anthony Davis. And looking at all-defensive team, Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons, Giannis, LeBron, and Rudy Gobert. And for second team, Luka, Drew Holiday, Paul George, Evan Mobley, and Anthony Davis. So none of our players make it onto any team. Despite that, though, the team still went 72-10 and only allowed 103 points per game, while still putting up the most points per game in the NBA. First round of the playoffs for this Defensive Player of the Year led team. We got the Golden State Warriors, the finals winner last year. Game 1 will go to us. Game number 2 will go to us. Game number 3 goes to us, and game number 4 will also go to us. Round 2, we'll play the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're going to go straight into it. Game 1 goes to us. Game number 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to the Timberwolves. Game 4 goes to us. Game 5 goes to us, and we're in the conference championship. And in the conference championship, we're going to play the Memphis Grizzlies. Game number 1 goes to us. Game number 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to the Grizzlies. Game 4 goes to us, and game number 5 goes to us. We are in the NBA Finals. Western Conference Finals MVP goes to Dwight Howard. He put up 29-1 with 2 steals and a block per game. And Eastern Conference Finals MVP goes to Jason Tatum, putting up 36, 6.5, and 5.5. So we've got our Defensive Player of the Year led team versus the Celtics in the finals. Game number 1 goes to us. Game 3 goes to the Celtics. Game 4 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And game number 5 goes to us, and we win the finals in 5. Giannis goes on to win Finals MVP, putting up 25, 8, and 7.5 for our team with 1.2 steals, and 1.2 blocks. So at this point, they're slightly worse than the MVPs were, but that didn't stop them from winning a title. So now I'm going to see you guys at the start of next season. All right, guys, so we made it to the regular season of year number 2. Marcus Smart still your only guard, so he's still going to get your starting point guard minutes despite being the lowest overall on the team. And overall, there was just regression across the board. Everyone started going down a little bit, even though it's probably not very noticeable, and we're probably still going to be the best team. Tyson Chandler does work his way into getting some minutes, and Marcus Camby falls out of the rotation. And that's all that is really worth mentioning at the beginning of the season. I did use the custom draft class, so Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, they're in the league now. But I'm going to sim to All-Star break, and I'll see you guys once we get there. All right, so we've made it to the All-Star break. We're going to start by looking at the award races. This year, Joel Embiid is your frontrunner. Luka Doncic is down here at number 4, not putting up a 38-point triple-double. If we look at Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama, kind of expected to see him at the top of the Rookie of the Year. 23.5, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and almost 3 blocks. Sixth Man of the Year, Kevin Garnett in the running once again. Defensive Player of the Year, we still don't have anybody in that running, but Victor Wembanyama is actually second. And Most Improved Player, none of our players make it onto that list. Looking at the All-Star teams, we have 2 people once again. We have Dwight Howard and we have Giannis. And if we look at the standings, we are 54-5 at the All-Star break. This year, we've allowed 5 more points from what I remember. We're letting them score 108, but we're putting up more points. We're putting up 130. We are still the best defensive team by 4 points, and we're winning our games on average by 22. Looking at our player stats, Giannis is the one leading our scoring, putting up 22.1, 6.2 rebounds, 6 assists. Meanwhile, Dwight Howard is putting up 20 and 7.5. And then we kind of just have split scoring all the way down the line. This team has 5 people shooting over 60% because I'm going to round up Kawhi. And just overall, this team is a very good shooting team. 3-point shooting, however, it is not great. We only have, 6 people who've actually made a 3 this season. Free throws are also not a specialty, as we only have 1 person shooting 80%. It's Ron Artest, and everyone else is below 78. But now we're going to sim to the end of the season once again. I'll see you guys when we get there. We made it to the end of season number 2. Joel Embiid wins MVP, putting up 31, 14, and 5.5. Victor Wembanyama wins your Rookie of the Year, averaging 23.6, 9, and almost 3. Kevin Garnett did actually find a way to come back and win Sixth Man of the Year. And Joel Embiid goes on to win Defensive Player as well. Looking at the All-NBA teams, first team has none of our players. Second team, none of our players, and third team, none of our players. Looking at the all defensive teams, again, none of our players, and none of our players on team number 2. We were the first seed in the whole NBA once again, breaking the wins record, going 75-7. We won on average by 21.6. And we allowed 109.2 points per game. And despite being a defensive-led team, this team still found a way to put up 130 a game. And in the playoffs, round 1, we're going to have to play the Denver Nuggets, where the first game we will win, and the second game we will win, third game we'll win, and the fourth game we will lose, and in the 5th game we'll win and go to the second round. In the second round, we're going to play the Memphis Grizzlies. Game number 1, we'll take. Game 2, we'll take. Game number 3, we'll take. We're up 3-0, and we take it 4-0. In the conference championship, we'll play the Golden State Warriors. Game number 1, we'll take. Game 2, we'll win. Game 3, we'll win. Game 4, we'll win. Your Western Conference Finals MVP is Giannis, who put up 24, 4, and 7.5. And Eastern Conference Finals MVP is Trae Young, who put up 29.5, 2, and 11.5. So that means we're going to be playing the Hawks in the NBA Finals. They're able to pick up Chris Middleton in the offseason, but this team should be able to lock him up despite how good they look on paper. Game number 1, we'll take. We're up 1-0 in the series. Game 2, we'll lose. Game 3, we'll win. Game 4, we'll take a 3-1 series lead. And Game 5, we'll take it. Giannis wins Finals MVP, puts up 24, 4.5, and 5, and shoots 61% from the field while shooting 41 from 3. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you really did enjoy, like you loved it, please leave a like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And if you guys want to leave comments like you have been, I mean, I absolutely love your guys' comments. You guys have been so great to me. I hope you guys like the back-to-back day uploads. I'm going to try and be as consistent as possible, and you guys keep on motivating me, so you guys are making it very easy. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.